Traders, good morning, afternoon, evening. I think it's episode 70 of Trade Talk, Pen and Easy. Connor, good morning.
Hey Scotty, how are you?
Traders, it's a bit early for us. 10 o'clock in Tassie, 8 o'clock here in Perth. But we're up and about, and let's talk some trades. Before we roll into it, quick risk disclaimer. So both Connor and I, we're just making, an educational entertainment podcast here. It's not financial advice. We're not saying, sell the euro US dollar, sell the New Zealand dollar. We're not doing that. So if you are looking alone, I would say, just take it slowly. Don't live trade straight away. Be very careful, especially, this month in particular is very choppy and pretty wild. So just learn the process, back test using Forex Tester 3, and just don't risk real money straight away. Although people love doing that. You just tell them, but just please don't. We've told you at least, so thank you. Now, Connor, to start things off, I've got your Euro US dollar. So you've taken this again as another trade because you were in it earlier in the month as well, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. No,
Oh,
great way to start the podcast with a falsity. But no, I've been in this one for a while now.
so it's
I
the
don't
same
think I've been.
trade.
Yeah, it's the same trade.
Okay.
It's just been banging around, as you can see, just doing nothing. So
Yeah.
I was in the Euro Japanese yen before, so that's
So
probably
this
what
trade, how long has this trade been open for? The Euro US
it's
dollar.
been open for like 10 days, something like that, and
Okay, yeah.
it's hanging floating around where I got in. I got in off that big bearish. Uh,
So it got
uh,
close to hitting the stop as well with this rally. Is that where the original stop loss was at 1.1866, that red dashed line
yes,
there?
yeah,
Yeah, so look, traders, I mean, you've this is a good example here, like the Aussie dollar trade that I had. Because I see a lot of literature saying close out when it gets 80% to the stop loss or whatever it is. I've seen a lot. But it got very close. So,
that's strange because that defeats the purpose of the stop loss. Because
yeah.
otherwise just put the stop loss at 80%.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, some people would see this and go, it was going to hit it anyway with this rally, but no, no, no. Then it consolidated. Again, guys, we don't really know, the fundamentals. We just trade what we see on the chart. So this collapse, this is nice how it, I saw this last night and I was like, well, not last night, the other day, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty. Again, we don't really know what triggers these sort of moves, but it's pretty, and right now, it's looking pretty nice as well, especially on the daily that it collapsed again recently as well.
Mm.
It looks
Yeah,
alright.
but it just hasn't hit those wicks at the bottom yet. Until it closes past those, I'm not really satisfied.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things. It's like that Aussie dollar trade. Like I moved it when I was in it, and then it sort of bounced, and then it hit the stop loss, the break even stop loss, and now it's collapsed again. So unfortunately, guys, things like that can happen where you're sort of in a position where you're looking like you're making some money. It doesn't want to cooperate. You've just sort of got to cop that sometimes. So things they don't always pan out in your favor, unfortunately. But this one looks out of the bunch of things that I've been seeing, like the pound, the USD yen, everything's been very choppy. So it's in a really nice downtrend as well on the daily. Really
Yeah,
nice,
that's
actually.
that's one. That's
Yeah.
plus. But we'll see what goes on. It just nothing's really trended well this year, apart from this has.
No.
I
Like
do.
that was that. This is actually probably because I was in this, and then I would say this is probably the pick of the bunch for. Yeah, I would say this year. Like, look at that. That's. But again, and now it's another test, isn't it? Like down at one point, where it is now, and a little bit further down is going to be a significant point to see if it wants to continue falling. We've seen Donald Trump to tweet some crazy stuff again, and some good stuff though.
Yeah,
Some good stuff. Not,
yeah.
but oh my goodness. Now, what I'm in, guys, currently. is I sold the New Zealand dollar. It was early this morning, and I'm just got the 4 hour time frame up now. So I sold it at 67.90, and the stop loss it's pretty tight. For my setup, it's at 68.56. That's just where the 55-day moving average is. Now I'll just zone in here. So it got triggered on, the candle wasn't spectacular. It was quite wicky actually. And then it had a pretty, like, I'm just on the hourly just to show the guys how it's panned out this morning. It's been
Yep.
pretty wild actually. Had a decent sized bullish candle that's on it with the bounce, and now it's, see, right here guys is sort of honing in on why it's a little more difficult to trade the shorter time frames, like if you had really tight stop losses, because as you can see, there's a degree of unpredictability with some of the candles, and if you're sort of too tight with where you're entering and where the stop's placed, you're just going to get struck out a lot. And then if you don't have a system, you sort of get very disheartened. So that's why backtesting is very important, just so you avoid dealing with all this without understanding how things sort of operate, because that's why trading the high time frames is, there's more room for error there, instead of having it right by the entry candle, and then especially on the hourly, this is a good example, because I entered just below a support zone, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to take this, it's broken through, and I had to stop, wide enough so I could avoid any, bounces, because sometimes if it is a zone, it might go through it, but it still will bounce even if it closes below that support zone, because it's sort of not an exact point on the chart. So if you guys realize, it's not, price action, it's not an exact science with trading. I wish it was, but it might sort of go through it a little bit through a support zone, and then it might go, nah, look, we will bounce a little bit here. So it's interesting. And I was in the Aussie as well earlier, and it struck me out break even, and then it's sort of broken down some more, which is good. That's all right though. So it's
You
been
took that
much,
as a win, though, didn't you? You nearly
yeah.
you dove right into the belly of the beast in that trade and nearly got stopped out. So
Yeah, so guys,
if I was you, I'd be happy.
where it rallied was about 90%. It was like 10 pips or less to actually, and I just forgot about the trade, because I was like, you know what, I'm going to take that as a losing trade. I'll move on. And then it just sort of trickled down some more. So it's interesting with the Aussie dollar. Again, it's not that the podcast isn't really to talk fundamentals or anything. It's more, I took it because it was downtrending, and it's something I've seen in backtesting before. So definitely, yeah, it's interesting now though where it is. So, and what I was going to do. Do you have any other charts you want to have a little peruse
No,
at?
no, nothing's really popped out.
Yeah, it's tough, guys. Like this month, I just, last month obviously wasn't great. It was 4% down, and now I think it's about 0.5% I'm at. So positive. So I've been very picky, and I've been happy with that, because it's been harder conditions actually than last month. So you've just, some months it's just going to be like that, and you can't really, force things. And if you do, normally the market will, let you know about that. Now, what I was going to do, Connor, is just see how Bitcoin is going, because I saw it just as a talking point, because I had a gentleman encourage me to join his Telegram site. So, because apparently it was coming back up again, just to see where it's at, because it's always
Fact. That's
interesting.
a fact. It's a
Yeah,
fact, Scotty. It's going back up.
what do they say, to the moon or something?
Yeah.
Oh, dearie
Well, I
me.
like it how they use like a whale and stuff. I think that's a gambling term.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's like a poker term.
Yeah,
So
I've heard
I like
that.
that they've just taken it as a complete gambling strategy.
And just hold on for dear life and
Yeah,
things like this. It's like, okay. Now it's at about 6,100 US dollars. In it's just holding that now. So we'll see. I think 6,000 is pretty pivotal. So if it goes below that for a while, it really freaks people out. So, But we'll see. This is a talking point, guys, because again, the charts aren't very great. And I mean, if that's the case, I would say don't trade if things aren't looking great for your setups, because what will happen really is they'll just turn against you normally. So you might get lucky, but that's not a high probability thing to do, though, to be honest. So now also, Connor's got a channel, Forex Connor YouTube channel. Is that your?
Yeah. Yes.
And I would strongly, I'll put a link in the description as well of the latest video. So we'll try and do this on a regular basis. YouTube was a bit difficult getting this up, but it did upload it finally for Connor. It's like a scam watch thing. So is there anyone else on the horizon? Or John was something special though.
Yeah, John was. John, I had to make an exception for John and really get into it. Look, I'm looking at a few things, but nothing's really popped out like John.
And it was a longer video, guys. Like if you see it, but it had to be that length because we sort of,
it was 17 minutes. It's not going to, take up your whole day. We just go through the ins and outs of scammers because we've just noticed the pattern that certain people follow. Maybe not completely trying to scam you, but a way to get you some. It's like it's a high pressure tactic. I would say scamming. They try to pull the wool over your eyes. Like, let's be honest. Like, they never give you any. They never give you any evidence of how well they trade or anything like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And he was. You'll see it, guys, in the video that there's what we show you there. It's like a template of what a lot of the scammers will do. So if you see something similar to that and you're like, wow, this is, pretty interesting, send it through, and again, we'll do another video because we're definitely not afraid to sort of do that because, a lot of people, I think, do lose money to scammers and just don't say anything because they're sort of embarrassed and everything like that, which is fine. So we just want to help people avoid dealing with that because it's really dirtying up the industry a little bit. Because it's a bit of a Wild West routine when it comes to, because anyone can put anything online really, and it turns into, you sort of sign up to something and they're making promises and then it turns into the exact opposite. So definitely be careful. But yeah, I just had a quick scan of the charts as well, just then kind of on the other screen, and it's just no, yeah. So guys, we don't have a lot really Forex related to talk about. We'll see. I know, I think what was I was watching Bloomberg last night at work on YouTube because they have a live stream, and I think the China tariffs thing is definitely going to be a dynamic thing to see how it all unfolds. So if you are a fundamentalist, I think that could be a bit of a catalyst. Because there was quite a lot of chatter on that. So because he's cracking down on intellectual property because he's very concerned about how China just they'll take a product from America and then they'll just steal everything from it and rebrand it and then just start selling it.
They've been doing that since day dot.
They are very good at that. So we'll see, and then there's the tariffs because he wants, to protect America and whatever. So watch that space, I think, guys. But other than that, any sort of closing words?
No, you hit the nail on the head.
And again, guys, it's earlier, so we try to be as coherent as possible this morning. But again, if you got any scams, anything you've encountered, you can remain anonymous. That's fine. Send them through, and we will do another video because John was very entertaining to break down on. Hopefully we find another character like that. But I think that's it, guys. Thank you, Connor, again for joining us.
Thank you, Scotty.
Guys, thanks again. Happy trading.